In this video, we'll explore what I think is one of the most important decisions that you or anyone can make when running a company. And the question and the decision is, what is success for you? Now, obviously, at the lower levels of success, survival, getting one's expenses paid, etc., are obvious. Everyone needs to survive and gain some sense of security in that survival. But once survival and security are established, the playing ground is a lot more confused. The default would be to get bigger and to have more. Get as big as you possibly can, make as much money as you possibly can. And this can lead to an addictive cycle. Because what are you realistically going to do with $1 million, $2 million, $10 million, $20 million? What are you going to do with more money than you can reasonably digest in one body? Now, of course, you can have the perception of glamour, and that could be one of the goals. I want to look glamorous. I want to make people jealous. I want to accumulate and see how far I can go. And you can get into a little bit of an addictive mindset where it's never enough, and one's brain ties in here because hedonic adaptation is a principle that no matter what you have, you get used to it, it becomes familiar, and it's not enough. And so you need a little bit more. Now, one of the benefits of reading hundreds of books and biographies about different successful business owners and wealth creators is the chance to learn from their mistakes. And one of the common things that has come up enough to pay attention to is the idea that it's not just important to succeed and create one's goal, but there's a recurring theme that if you default to the cult norms, which are, in this case, more is always better, that you can arrive and succeed at your goal only to discover it's not actually what makes you feel the most fulfilled. Now, for me personally, I discovered that what I wanted more than anything else was the freedom to do what I wanted to do, where I wanted to do it, with the people I wanted to do it with. Now, this diverges from more and better in a couple of different ways. For example, most successful landscaping companies have a maintenance division. But either just through my own personality and limitations, or through the nature of the business, I've never been able to find people that 100% of the time offer the quality of service that I want going to my clients without me there. Now, I'm sure they're out there, and that's why I want to acknowledge the awareness of my own limitations. But the reality is that with a crew that is not going to provide my level of service all of the time when I'm not there, I'm going to get emails or contacts from clients in the middle of what I'm doing saying, the maintenance crew didn't show up. When's my lawn going to get mowed? And in order to do what I want to do anywhere in the world with the people that I want to do it with, I don't want that value cut down because a maintenance crew was sick, a truck broke down, a client had a special request the crew could not anticipate. because someone left at short notice when I was on a 3-month trip. And so for that reason, I have not started a maintenance company. And in the last 5 or so years, I've been out of town with nothing happening in my company for as much as 6 months of the year. And it's not that that is the most profitable way to run a business. The most profitable way to run a business is to have a maintenance company, to figure out an algorithm, and to keep growing big. But the bigger you get, the more likely it is that certain problems will come up, whether it's with the economy or with a vehicle accident, etc., that do demand my attention in a time-sensitive way, that would interrupt the creative processes that I enjoy doing. And so being clear that my goal personally was to do what I wanted to do in the place I wanted to do it, when I wanted to do it, and with the people I wanted to do it with, meant no maintenance company, meant fully shutting the company down for months at a time, which means only design and install. And it also meant not growing bigger. Now, this was simply my approach. Knowing that my time was the most valuable thing to me, I also like the phenomena of what I call low-hanging fruits. Now, every individual, every company has a unique flavor. And there are a certain number of people in the marketplace that want that flavor, a certain amount within a given radius. Now, that's called the low-hanging fruit. They will come to you and say, please, can you do our garden in in your style? We want to work with you. Are you available? That's low-hanging fruit. You don't have to advertise. Maybe they hear from a neighbor, they see a little sign, etc. There are a certain number of people that are going to do that. Now, if you make your company 10 times bigger, there are not necessarily 10 times more people in your vicinity that are going to call you without effort. As you get bigger and saturate the market for what you do well, you have to generate and expand the market. That takes more work than being small and letting people come to you. So my advertising costs are little or nothing. The effort that I have to spend creating work, little or nothing. It's low-hanging fruit, and it's easier and easier the smaller you are. And if you take a couple of months off, then there's a buildup, right? Because the people there are still calling and contacting you now, emailing you while you're on vacation, whatever. Can you do this when you come back? Work's waiting. So that's my definition of success. And because it's real, because I enjoy that, the more successful I am at doing that involves creating more and more net profit per hour of my time working and more free time, to the point where I now spend an average of 3 hours a day, 6 months of the year, doing business stuff for my landscape company, and the rest of the 24 hours a day and the rest of the 6 months of the year is spent doing what I want to do, where I want to do it, in and with the people that I enjoy spending time with. And that's success.